Hi everyone, Lisa here from LC Designs. Welcome to Fun Fold Friday. This Friday I have a really fun card for you. I hope you're enjoying these fun folds. I'm enjoying creating them. It's challenging me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisa Cunningham and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. And every Friday I'll post a video on Facebook and my YouTube channel at 12 o'clock p.m. Right now they're pre-recorded videos, but eventually I'm going to start doing live videos just like I do my workshop Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. So further ado, let's go ahead and get started with our project. And thanks for watching my video. Also, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, give me some thumbs ups, likes, loves, share my videos, and the same as YouTube as well. I appreciate it all. All right, let's get started. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with our project. Here are the products that I used, and I really appreciate if you shop in my online store. All you got to do is scan this QR code, and it'll take you directly to my online store so that you can order the products that I used today. Here are the measurements. So I'll give you a quick minute if you want to take a screenshot of it. Because I don't send these out, I print it for the day. So let's get started again. So this is my card, and again, it's another fun fold. And I am gonna change this to very vanilla. Afterwards, I like the very vanilla better than the white. And I couldn't take it up because it was glued down. I used glue. So, like I said, we're using the Weekend Adventure stamp set. Now, I got this stamp set because, we do a lot of camping. We go out in our RV and pretty much from May through September, we go back and forth to the ranch up in Taos, and we just do a lot of camping. So anyway, I really like this set. Unfortunately, it doesn't have dies to go with it, so we will fussy cut some of our items. And I'm using the Stylish Shapes dies, which I already pulled out, and the perennial postage dies. I can never say that word. There's some words that I just can't say. We're going to be using the Weekend Adventures Designer Series paper. Now, this was also a scrapbook kit that I believe I got because I got the sticker sheet to go with it. I don't think the sticker sheet comes with the Designer Series paper. I'll have to double check. But for the most part, we're using this pattern, this pattern, this pattern, the back sides. I do have some pieces already pulled out, and we are going to use these Cajun Craze and gold dots along with the Early Espresso linen thread. You can actually, this comes a pack with both the Early Espresso and the Old Olive. You could actually use Old Olive on here as well. Maybe we'll use the Old Olive and then you guys could see which one you like better. And I am going to use some Stampin' Blends to color in our flowers. We got Timid Tiger, Old Olive, Highland Heather, and Daffodil Delight. And a piece of my paper just went flying away. So let me grab it. When I grabbed my stuff out of my bin, it fell and, of course, slid across the room. All right, so let's get our trimmer and make sure that I'm staying inside the camera. We're going to use a 4¼ by 11 piece of cardstock. So I believe this is already at 4¼ because I think it's the piece that I used. And we are going to score it. So the scoring is right here, 1¼ 3¼ and 5½. So let's go 1¼ Make sure you have your scoring blade. 1 1/4, 3 1/4, and 5 1/2. So you know, for these fun folds, you could pretty much make any card into a fun fold. You just want to make sure that your section that's going to go into your envelope is 5 1/2. So, you know, like I said, you could pretty much make any card. So we're going to fold this in half. This one's going to go over, and then this one's going to come in. And yes, it doesn't line up here. That's the thing. So like I'm saying, for any foam fold, so say you have this 11 piece, you can score here, you can score here. You just want to make sure that you have that 5 1/2 that's going to go on the card. So all your folds can go however. And it's the same with the 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. You're just going to make sure that you have your 5 1/2 inch section, and you can score it however you want. Does that make sense? You just always want to make sure that you're going to have a 5 1/2 inch square, because that's what's going to fit inside your envelope. Okay, so now that we have that, we're going to do a lot of trimming. I don't know what's going on with my nose, so pardon me if you hear me sniffling, and you know, I might have to sneeze. I've been sneezing all day yesterday. So we are going to, like I said, I had pulled some pieces out. I think these are like what I need for our stamping. So inside our, let's go with the outside layer and number 1. So I'm going to tell you what the number 1, the number 2, and the number 3 is. So this is our inside of our card. So this is going to be number 1, number 2, number 3. And I numbered those because I was like, I didn't know what to put, like small, medium, large, which they are. This one's smaller, this is medium, and then this is large. But I did 1, 2, 3, so you would know. This is going to be our outside layer. So these two are going to be the same size, but you're going to use different patterns. These two are going to be the same, but different patterns. So this is our outside. This is the only section that we're not putting designer series paper on. You can put it on yours, but I didn't put it on mine. So let's go with the outside layer number 1, which I used of this one, which is going to be 1 1/8 by 4 1/8. So 1 1/8. And now we want our cutting blade by 4 1/8. So pretty much everything's 4 1/8. And then, so we need 2 of them. So we're doing the inside, the outside and the inside. But the inside, let me see, that is, I think I used this pattern. I have to keep referring back to mine. And I did this pattern because this is the back side of that other. So this is 1 1/8, and this might already be 1 1/8, yeah, by 4 1/8. Needs to be trimmed just a little bit. So again, outside, inside number 1. Move those out of the way. Let's go to, this is just the inside layer, which I told you we were only going to do the inside. You could do the outside, but we're going to do this one, and it is 1 7/8 by 4 1/8. So 1 7/8, which is, that's 1 7/8 by 4 1/8. Am I going to make it? Nope, look. So let me find, where's that pattern? Nope, not this one. What was on the back side? This one. So again, 1 7/8. Sorry, you guys. Let's go 4 1/8. Let's cut it over here. 4 1/8 this way. And 1 7/8. That's kind of the thing about fun folds. You do a lot of paper cutting for all of your layers. Okay, so now we're going to do the outside layer and number 3, And that's going to be 2 1/8 by 4 1/8. And that is our little, our one with our little shoes and stuff. I tell you, I love this set because all the camping we do, the hiking. So I'm going to cut again 4 1/8. And it is going to be 2 1/8. 2 1/8. And you know me, I do the eighths all the time instead of the quarters, because I like that little bit of trim. Now this is the only one that I matched, you know, both sides, this one and this one. You can put a different pattern if you want. So I believe we have all of those layers, but let's cut our inside of our frame, which is, the inside of the frame is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. This might already be, no, 4 3/4. And by 3 1/2, 3 1/2. So there's our inside frame. So let's see, we just need our very vanilla inside, which I forgot to grab. Very vanilla inside is 3 1/2 by 5. So we're going to cut 3 1/2. I'm just doing this because I have the trimmer out. 3 1/2 by 5. And like I told you, I'm switching that out because I had originally did the white and I like so there's that layer. These are all, I already have these. We have so then our frame, okay, we'll cut our frame. All right, so where is my piece of cardstock for my frame? I know I had it, but if not, we're gonna cut another piece. It's 4 by 5 1/4, so let's go 4 by 5 1/4. I think that piece might have fell out too, and it probably went flying under something. Okay, so we are going to pull out our cut and emboss machine, and I hope that didn't mess up my call. I mean, I got a phone call. So I'm using the perennial postage dies, and this is going to be the largest, and it's going to pretty much fit on there pretty good. And then the second to the largest, and we're going to put those in there evenly so that you have like an even border, and that's going to be our frame. So we will die cut that, and I'm not going to die cut so see, this you can use for something else, but we're just going to use this piece right here. And I have a bunch of pieces of paper over here. Look at this gift that one of my customers made for me. So this is for when I travel. This side is magnetic. So right now I have my my pieces on here. It's like my dies. And then this side is so that you could stamp, but it's a frame, and she made this for me. So you know me, I do a lot of traveling. I could take it and still work at the same time. Pretty cool, huh? I have some very good customers. So now we're going to glue, this is the piece that we're going to glue onto this so that it's the inside of our frame. And so we can just put a thin layer and go as close to the little notches as you can. Wow, I'm impressed. I did pretty good here. Didn't get it all over. See, now that I said that, kind of, with this glue, you know, less is better, although sometimes I get an abundance of it. So there is the inside of our frame. See, I wanted it to kind of like we're looking out at the trees. So let's do all these layers. So this is our outside one, which is going to be this one. And we will do both the outsides and then we'll do the insides. Put my little glue holder over here. I always like this pattern here. And then our other was the little one with the hiking boot prints, the compass, bear paws. You guys know when I go camping to Lake Tahoe, this year I'll be going in June. We see bears all the time. So again, if you want a piece here, you would use the same size as the inside. So now let's do our number 1, which is this pattern with the acorns. But we always see bears, and they're harmless. They just want the food, that's all. So they definitely tell you, do not leave food out. You're not even supposed to leave your coolers out because they do. We have actually watched some bears get right inside, walk up to a cooler, open it up, pick something out, didn't like it, threw it aside, and then dug in there and got what he wanted. But it was funny. Me, my brother, and my husband were just sitting there watching him. It was like, and then, of course, then the rangers had came and scared him away because somebody probably had already reported that there was a bear out. But it's pretty fun to see them as long as they don't come. Last time we didn't go last year. Last year was the first time we ever missed it. So this, I can glue it now, and I'm putting it over to the left because the thing is I want my frame to cover it. This isn't our frame, but I want our frame to cover it. And this frame, we're going to line it up with the edge here when we adhere it. I'm going to wait on this, and I'll explain a little bit better. So this is going to fold like this. And now this is our frame. And like I said, see, I want this edge here to line up with the edge. But let's do our flowers and stuff. I got glue on my fingers. So that's always going to be a goodie. All right, let's do some stamping. This, we are going to stamp the flowers. I feel like already my hands are all, look, I'm going to stick to everything because of that. And let me grab a baby wipe. I always keep my baby wipes on hand for that reason, because you know that glue is sticky. I went and wiped it off, and I should have known better because then I'd have it on me. All right, so I'm going to color the big flowers with, oops, well, not that. Well, since I have the Highland Heather, we're going to color these little tiny flowers. And these you kind of just need to like dot it on. And you might even want to go with a lighter because that looks kind of dark, even though I'm using the light. And the big flower I'm going to do with Daffodil Delight. And these I'm not really shading. I'm just coloring them in. And I'm only using, let me see, what did I do? I'm going to do Timid Tiger in the center of this one. And then we're going to do these. Now you see I decided to stamp on Very Vanilla. Again, because I liked how the Very Vanilla went with the designer series paper other than the white. I originally made it in white, and then I decided, no, I want to go with Very Vanilla. So you can color on pretty much any of them. So all the little leaves I am going to do with dark Old Olive. This will kind of lighten up. So where you could see. And these little ones, you kind of just dot. Not sure about using the brush end. The brush end, you have that small tip, but it's a little bit harder to control. All right, and let's do this one. And then the rest we will do with light old olive. I hope I'm not sticking my head in the camera. The camera's above me, so it's hard to tell. And I'm not that tall to where I can hover over it and see. All right, so there's our flowers, and yes, we are gonna fussy cut. Like I said, we have no dies. So this one, you just wanna move your paper, and let your scissors do the cutting. Just move your paper and just go around. There's no right or wrong. Nobody's gonna say, oh my gosh, look at that cutting, it was terrible. They're gonna just love the card. And now I'm gonna do is, like I say, we go camping every year to Lake Tahoe. We always have to make our reservations in November of the year before. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make multiples of this card, and I'm gonna send it to my cousins and give them the dates that we will be in Tahoe, and then they come up and meet us. They usually we're there for 10 days, so they pick however many days that they want to come, and they camp with us. Some come up just for the weekend, some come up for about 4 days. It's just everybody does whatever they want to do. But I'm going to send these cards and give them the dates. Again, we're just moving our paper. We'll snip that off the bottom. If something don't look right, just go in and trim it. Okay, so we are going to, I haven't attached that yet because I wanted to stick this in, and we will glue it. And do you guys mind fussy cutting? You know me, Again, I love to have a set of dies, but I don't mind fussy cutting either. All right, so let that dry. Now we're gonna stamp our sentiment, which is taking the scenic route, and I got the wrong color here. We're using crushed curry. And this, we're just gonna stamp it. Now, this is totally up to you on how you want to stamp your heart and what am I looking for? Rays, like sun rays. Let's go ahead and cut this. And I'm going to cut this with the largest stylish shape banner. So you might want to do it first, and you could put your die closest to scenic route. I still got glue on me, so I'm gonna take that down, and we're gonna cut. And the reason you might want to die cut it first is then you could see where you want to put your rays and your heart. Since I have the die cutting machine out, we're gonna cut a couple of these banners. So I believe these are the 2 patterns I use, and let's just cut them since I already have it out. And this is a good way to use up your scraps on these. Let's get that one, get this one. Might have to tape this down. Are you guys fans of liquid glue, or do you prefer the seal? I've been using seal a lot more, but my go-to is usually the liquid glue. The only problem is when it gets on you. Okay, so back to this. we're going to move those aside. So we are going to stamp our heart in Cajun Craze, and this little heart is one of the stamps. And so I just put it here. And the thing is if you stamp it ahead of time before die cutting, your rays might get cut off, but that's okay. I think mine did a little bit here, but it's okay because I stamped mine all beforehand. And so with the rays, we're going to use pumpkin pie. We're just going to go around this way and then go around this way. Isn't that cute? I wanted to add a little something to it. I didn't want it to be all by its lonesome. So we're going to go back over here. We're going to attach this eventually. But so what we're going to do now is with both of these banners, I'm going to actually cut them. And let's cut off about that much. And let's see, because then we're going to cut the other one shorter. So let's see how this is going to look. You know, I don't measure. I'm terrible when it comes to that because I don't measure. But we cut probably a 1/2 inch off. So just put this one here. Let's see, what did I cut off? Almost 3/4 of an inch. And so we'll cut this one just a little bit more. So like, I guess 1 inch we would say, because we want this to be shorter. And we'll glue this one on. And again, this was just to add some extra layer. And I should have paid attention when I cut this, because look, my pattern looks crooked. So you can see I die cut it. I should have cut it straighter. But I wasn't paying attention. So now we're going to attach this with some dimensionals right over our flags. Make sure you guys get the screenshot of this. And dimensional backing. Put that right over. You know, had I not glued this down, I could have fixed that. But I glued it in this. I actually looks like I didn't have that straight. So now we're going to add dimensionals to this. And you just want to make sure that this lines up over here. And you want even distance here. And so what I'm going to do, and there's, you just put, oops, like we'll add 4 dimensionals. I was going to say 3, but we can add 4. And look, I got 5. All these backings. You guys find these backings all over the place. I'm always going out of my craft room into the living room, and my husband's like, you got a dimensional on you. So I'm lining these up over here. Oops. Here. It started to stick. Let me use my little clothespin. Oh, that's going to get in the way. All right, try again, Lisa. Again, just line this up there. I think I got it. And I think I had too much coffee today. My hands aren't steady. All right, so just like so. So now we can put our inside in. And I'm going to glue it because with the glue, I have a little bit of time for wiggle room if I need. Sometimes it works that way, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm moving it all the way, all the way to the end. Well, I kind of blew that one because look, I got glue over there, but that covers it. But I'm gonna have that glue mark now. But you know, I have my little adhesive remover here That'll remove it. And when you buy one of my adhesive kits, you get this inside your adhesive kit for free. It's a gift from me. I love this thing. It has saved me so many times. So there is our card. Now we're not done. Let's use we're going to use the old olive. Like I said, I have used the early espresso, but let's see how this works with the old olive, because the old olive matches the designer series paper. And we're just going to tie this in a bow. Where's my extra set of hands? Here, I got this one here. Oops. Like I said, I think I had too much coffee this morning. I got an espresso machine for Christmas, and oh my gosh, I love it. But I've been having double espressos. So I'm like blah, 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 all over the place. All right. So actually, I think I like the old olive just as well. My ribbon scissors. And then let's add our Cajun craze. So I want it dots. I want it to add them like around the flowers. So I used all the medium size and just to like circle around. And then I added a big one and a smaller one over here. And that is our fun fold card for the day. So which do you guys like better? The old olive or the early espresso? Like I said, they come in the same package, so you can use both. But I think I like the green better, the old olive. I think it stands out better. So there is our fun fold card for the day. I hope you enjoy it. Then these stamps, they're so cute. I've made some coffee cups that I'm not done with. I'm going to make a card. And I see how I stamped this one in reverse. So I'm going to make a card and I will show you. But again, here's the products that I used, your measurements, and you can shop in my online store. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back next Friday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.